In Sutra number 37, we have been looking at what Patanjali has been talking about, how to engage the mind so that the breaths can be managed well. So we have been looking at many technologies, isn't it? This is one of it. And this is the art of how to detach the mind when it is undergoing some form of turmoil. So this particular technique is to manage the mind by making a passionless object as a point of concentration. So the object here could be a person, like someone whom you know right now, or who has lived in the past, or whom your parents have explained to you as a saint in your tradition, who lived a life of service to mankind. Definitely, there is a lot of detachment there, isn't it? In order to serve humanity, one has to detach from many personal processes. But then the thing is that when one involves in service to humanity, there seems to be no lacks from our duties and responsibilities. We are still, as always, loving, compassionate, kind to those who are closest to us: siblings, children, spouses, in laws, parents, brothers, sisters, uncles, aunties. Even when you are going to serve humanity, which is a main objective in life, there are two main objectives in life. One is service to humanity, another one is self-realization. But both of these does not make you detach from your responsibilities and your duties. And you'll find that when we are serving humanity or performing karma yoga, the connection and the feelings towards our own family members and children actually evolve. That the ability to practice aparigraha or non-possessiveness will reveal to us through love. It becomes a very beautiful process of learning. You understand that mistakes are being made by the family members, by the spouse, by the children, by the parents, by the in-laws, by the siblings, by the uncles and aunties. But because of this exposure to karma yoga, you will be able to cut asunder the possessiveness which most probably was very suffocating in the relationship. Sometimes we are not able to see this. That we could be, I'm not telling you, but could be that one himself or herself could be the trigger for whatever is happening right now. I'm not asking us to blame ourselves, not at all, just to realize that we could be one of the main components of whatever is not happening right. Understanding that is non-possessiveness. And you release, you understand, you release, and then you find lots of healing takes place. So it requires so much of self-awareness. To do this, we need to be very aware of that, to see ourselves in the connections around us, to see us fully. What role am I playing? Is my role here as a catalyst to self-realization of myself, leading to freedom and liberation to every process that is happening around me, and that is felt as a process of creativity. Creativity is something which has never happened before. So we must attempt to do our best to feel that every moment is an absolutely beautiful moment. So we draw inspiration from those who have lived in the past. Sometimes we may feel that, oh, Patanjali or Krishna or the Prophet or great beings who have led the entire humanity towards a very spiritual path, we may, due to our non-existence during that time, we were not existing, and as time passed by, the scriptures became very technical. But your own practice in spirituality or in creativity, in the process of understanding yourself, you will find that you're becoming more happier and more cheerful and more humorous and that, right? So that shows that they must have been like that too. That they must have been very joyful, cheerful individuals. This is also why one of the yamas and niyamas, which is not mentioned in the Yoga Sutras, but Santosha is also this aspect of cheerfulness. And Swami Sivananda also mentioned about this. He said that Gambira. Gambira means a kind of cheerfulness, a very enthusiastic feeling. Those individuals, not only as, you see the word passionless, in this particular sutra it says Vitaraga. Raga means Raga and Dvesha. Remember this word? Raga, Dvesha. Raga means attraction, Dvesha means repulsion. Vitaraga means without attraction to the negative aspects of life, to sadness, no attraction to sadness. So here, passionless actually means not passionate about the negative traits which may not bring happiness and joy in our lives. Is it possible to live a life which is all the time happy? Or do you think it is not possible? That it's not possible to be happy all the time. Is it possible to achieve this? May not be experienced right now to a level which is all the time, but most of the time, yes? Most of the time, yes. But is it possible that we move towards, elevate ourselves, train ourselves towards a state where we can be happy all the time? Irrespective and despite what is happening around us, it is possible. Now, most of the time, we are able to come back to that state, isn't it? That we may be disturbed for a short period of time. You can even count it within few seconds and then realizing what we can be to be more happier. So that involves passion, right? The passion too, here it says passionless object means those saints who exercise that state of detachment from unhappiness. But they were passionate about happiness, joy, and santosha. So we can exercise that at all times, observing and watching our mind and how it is reacting to circumstances and situations. And immediately bringing ourselves back to that state. So then it reveals to us that every situation and circumstances and individuals whom we are coming across daily, our own thoughts, our own thinking patterns, every thought that arises in our consciousness, every emotion and feeling is a teacher. We are interacting with this thought and it is a teacher. How do we interact with this feeling? How do we interact? It's not only a person in front of us or situations and circumstances, but every single thought in our consciousness is teaching us the art of living in joy. So this is a very tall order. It's a very high expectation. We are moving from the practice session where we are practicing in class or practicing 1 hour at home in the morning to training ourselves all the time, every moment. Earlier we were thinking and talking about how we can respond to situations and circumstances and people around us. Now we are moving towards our own thoughts. Every single moment, the thought becomes a teacher. Can that be done? Can we view every single thought as an unfolding karmic pattern, as a vritti which unfolds to teach us something? That is a very intense way to live, isn't it? Very intense, inspiring, exciting way to live. Every thought is a process which we can communicate with in order to grow. If and when we realize this, then life at every moment, every single minute portion of every second becomes an opportunity to excel. This is the way to live. Namaskar and thank you very much.